Hey, everybody, this is Mary,
And this is Julie.
and you are listening to the High Priestess Hype Club.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We are going to show you what one of our new offerings is. We want to unlock your destiny by talking about your astrology and some witches brews. So some recommendations from Julie on how to handle some of the things that are going on in your astrology chart and in your life right now. So what we did is we wanted to pull a celebrities chart. And we know that our dear Kesha, our singer, Kesha, is into astrology and into some witchery. So we wanted to support her in that and tell her some things that she could know and utilize this month to make it a little easier for her.
There you go.
Yeah. So Kesha is a sun sign of Pisces and also moon sign is Pisces, and her ascendant is Sagittarius. So she's out there. I think that's perfect, her being a singer.
Yeah.
It's out there with the people and then also writing the lyrics, having those lyrics really be just works of art, I think, for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we look at today's date, which is October 21st, when we're recording this, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out that's going on in Kesha's chart. Now, I'm not going to say everything necessarily that's going on, but we're going to highlight some things that would be good for her to know that's coming. So I always say forewarned is forearmed. You know
It
what you
helps.
can do in those situations, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So something that I noticed right off the bat is her Mercury.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the transing Mercury is going through her 12th house of karma and lessons and institutions.
Mm.
And it's going to move through that into her first house and a little bit of back and forth because if you can believe at the end of November, we've got another Mercury retrograde coming. So,
Yay. We'll talk about that more later.
yes, yes. So, but she has that kind of hovering around there. And I think what that's saying is that she's going to use her voice to be talking about more things that's been happening with her, whether it's her producer or whether it's someone else. There's going to be more that's going to come out. And I actually feel that there's either going to be an offer for her to use her voice in a different way. So that's why it's going through her 12th house. And that little circle with the cross is known as her part of fortune. So it's a way for her to make money.
Okay.
So it might be a musical, it might be a new album. I know she just released something in the past few months, but I think this is different. So that's something for her. And also Pluto, which is going to be affecting all of us over the next 20 years, guys. It's finally going to be going into Aquarius soon. It's right around her Venus and her Juno, and both of those have to do with dating and relationships. So we might see something from Kesha in relationships that's a bit different. Now, this could be partnerships because it is in the second house of money. So
Okay.
we might see her finally like working with someone that she's really thriving and shining. But it could be love and romance. So there's some things that could come out there for her that's making her feel more solid or feel more like herself. Knowing those things, Jules, what do you think that would be helpful for Kesha over the next month or so to do for herself for self-care?
Oh, well, I love that. All of this is great. I love when you talk astrology. It makes me very happy. The first thing I thought about was with it going through with Mercury moving through her 12th house. And she has even started speaking out about like the Diddy situation and, changing her song. And that brings awareness to that with my God. But anyway,
Yeah.
but speaking up and also speaking up as a Sag rising, speaking up in a very bold, direct kind of way. I would
Yep.
think there's a couple things you could do. I think one, you guys have heard us talk about it before. You're like spiritual hygiene. So you're just making sure that you're taking time to like cleanse your energy, whether that's a nice shower or, like smoke cleansing. In this situation, I would stay away from smoke though, because also with the communication, she uses her voice a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would want to try to make sure that's like an open and clear path. Now, I'm not a singer or a voice coach, but symbolically, with that being part of her life, I would avoid that for the cleansing. You could speak into water, the cleansing, and drink that.
Ooh.
So that could help like hold that protection with you all day and almost like radiate out from inside, maybe like it's your 80% water or whatever the actual percentage is that, it could permeate your whole self that way. So you're protected and cleansed as you move through the world. And then I also, especially in this kind of situation too, like in a releasing kind of way, to be prepared for the new opportunities or whatever's happening. She could like put those intentions to release anything she doesn't need karmically anymore, or the lessons that she's learned and doesn't have to hold on to, charge that into a candle and let that burn. And specifically, I don't know, I've got either like blue, white, or black is what I'm thinking, I guess, depending on what resonates, right?
So she should really use her intuition there for that.
Yeah, I think it would be the intuition because, like, blue can be throat chakra, white can kind of contain everything, but black could also be a great way to, if you're really focusing on releasing like the negative, that could be a great way to push that out. I mean, you know me, I'd probably try to work all three in a different way, but I burn 8 to 10 candles a day. So
I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah.
That's the kind of witch I am.
You know what I love that you recommended was the drinking of the water, because she is a double water for her big 3.
Oh, there you go.
So I love that recommendation. Also, with Mercury going through, it's going to go from Scorpio to Sagittarius. So really important for her to know is that as long as she speaks her truth, the justice will come. So I think she might come out with something that people are going to be like, either she doesn't know or here she is again. And that's not what she's saying is true, but that's what I'm saying. You have to stick to that. Like, no, this is the truth. No, you might say I'm crazy, but I'm not. And that's where the truth is, like collaboration will come in or something will happen that, so it's really just sticking to that truth. And I know she's done a lot of that. So this is just, I hate to say it, a little bit more of getting that message out about how people need to be treated better.
Yeah. And a way to be solid in yourself and like protecting yourself from that negativity so you can stay positive in that space when you may be getting a lot of ridicule from assholes on the internet who don't necessarily know anything. But
but have opinions. Yeah, they can have an opinion. Doesn't mean it's correct. Correct. Yes. So, and I also was just looking a little bit more into her chart, and she has Jupiter going over her Chiron, or Chiron in relationships in Gemini. So again, that goes back to the speaking, and it goes back to speaking to people about what really has been the story.
Yeah, and in a way to heal yourself through that action.
Yeah. And having the right people around her now. I also think that's going to be different. It's going to expand the split between the people who really don't belong around her and who do. So I think that's going to be a change also.
Yeah. And she's witchy and everything. So she could, or one could work on like a meditation to help like join and like have your solar plexus and your throat chakra kind of work together so you feel solid and balanced within yourself while you're speaking these truths. So what comes out is even more clear and assured, like self-assured, and kind of closer to like the pure message of your like what's within you.
Yeah, I love that. I think this is a transformation time for her, but it's all through, again, her voice, her instrument, her art. So
that's beautiful.
I wouldn't surprise, like something just came to me about it. Could be like even a spoken word or a poetry book or something, again, that's unique and different for her. So we'll see.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we should probably tell people, unless I don't want to run over if we have more for Kesha. I mean, I could talk about Kesha all day.
I think so too. But I think we're good. Yeah.
But I think that we should probably let people know that this is like an example of like this new offering that we have.
We have a couple of offerings that are coming. One is that if you go to marydalba.com/events, you'll be able to find, not only are we going to be at a conference, Changing Time, Changing Worlds in Connecticut, where you can get this reading from us in more depth in person if you'd like to see us, or if you can't make the conference, you can actually book an appointment and we will send you a recording of this type of reading. So
specifically tailored for you during this specific time frame. We're looking at like about like a 3 to 4 week time frame when we're seeing what's in the chart.
Right. Exactly. So we have a special running right now if you'd like to get in on that. And then if you would like to have that every month, a personalized reading on how to handle the month ahead, you can find it on the High Priestess Hype Club website.live, and on there is a page called subscriptions. You can check it out and see if you'd like to subscribe. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. It's a way we think that we can get some really detailed, personalized information for people. We love doing like the monthly forecast, but that's a really broad, general forecast that doesn't have to do with how the transits hit your chart specifically. So we figured this is a fun way to do this, and we like to do it for each other. So why don't we do it for all you guys? Because we love you.
Exactly. We love you guys. Yay. Yes. All right, guys. Well, check out our websites. And if you have any questions, reach out to us at our email, highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com.
Yep. And you can check those links, and we'll put them in the descriptions too.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, I did the YouTube thing.
Just everywhere. We'll put it everywhere. You can just, guys, just reach out. You'll find us.
We love you.
Yes. And remember, you are magic. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I will say there's been a lot of folks that are trying to connect lately. It's that time of year and stuff. And I know we like you said, we were going to talk. I don't mean to laugh. It's just, we're talking about our dads,
Our dads would think this is pretty funny. They might not like the cussing so much, but they would think us kind of losing it like this is pretty funny.
Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness. That's how you connect with that's part of how you can connect with your ancestors. Right?
So
yeah. A lot of times, I learned when I was learning different types of folk magic, that the way to start is to have an ancestral altar.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, Jules, you have one in your house too. I saw that the last time I was there.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about yours? And then
we'll talk about mine? Sure, we can do that. Mine honestly doesn't have a lot of pictures on it. It's interesting because I really just have, it's really simple. I mostly just have like a glass of water and like a white candle. When it's there, I need a new space because it's being used for other work right now. But I keep it really simple, and like around special days, like especially for my dad, like my dad's birthday and other things, like I'll put like some of his, like I'll usually go buy like some like dry roasted peanuts and put them up there because that was like, I remember he'd always eat those, and so I'll put like his favorite little snack up there or whatever, things like that, and light a candle. Did I already say that part? Water, candle,
it's okay.
maybe snack or something. I don't put a lot of pictures up because I don't know, I think it's different for everybody. I think that I've been doing a lot of work lately with Mary and talking through stuff that like the majority of my ancestors and I wouldn't necessarily connect on like political or social views. I think it can be pretty different. But you were talking to me about how, like, is this too off topic? About how like things are kind of different like later, right? Like they let go like on the other side.
No,
They let go of some of that, and not everybody's great. You don't have to put everybody on your ancestor altar because like and the other thing I'm doing, I guess it's not just right in that space, but like I also am using more stuff. I felt a little more connected to like my paternal grandmother, who I never knew. Like she passed away before my mom even met my dad. So, but I'm using like some of her like items that were passed down to me. So I have them like on different spaces around the house so that I see them more, and some of them are on the more like magical spaces. So and
I love that.
And I've got some that are like my maternal grandmother's stuff too, which I love her a lot too, but she also was more Catholic than I am. So I try not to put her too close to anything magic because just I don't know how she'd feel about it. And I don't want to upset anybody. And I feel like I connect a lot with like my grandfather, like my maternal grandfather, just like when something stupid or kind of funny happens, like, he would do like, he like make his dancing lady tattoo move, and like, he'd spit his like dentures out at us. And there's a certain kind of humor that reminds me of like my pop. So like I'll think about him then and stuff. But I do like when I have just that like simple space that I know is just like, I think about them,
Right.
And I'm trying to I work a lot more now with like talking to my dad than I used to, because I would just get too sad, to be honest. Like we would talk about him at all and I just like start crying, like if he came through. So I don't immediately burst into tears. progress.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, that's a really season 1 style answer to your very simple question about
No, it's detailed. I love it. No. No, it's if it was season 1, we would have already got off topic about 3 times. So we're good. We've
right.
grown.
Right.
You know,
We've grown. We're
we've
professionals.
grown. We're professionals. Exactly. So my
What about
ancestry
you?
also has photos of ancestors that have passed that I did not meet. So we have some like nice group photos of people. Like my maternal grandmother passed before I was born. She knew my mother was pregnant with me, and she had passed as soon as she found out. So I always feel like she's around me. Yeah. So I have her picture on the altar, and I have my great aunts and my grandparents. And then for people I don't have pictures for, I write their names down like on the altar, or if I get their prayer cards, because they were all they were all Catholic.
Right.
So they're down with the crosses and the, all that. But I even have some of my dad's tools. We have
That's nice. Yeah.
a hammer that he had, and just some different things to represent, because, I love all my ancestors, but my dad's really the one that I like to honor the most, because we were super close. So yeah, so I do the water and the candle too. The way I learned it is the candle lights the way,
Right.
and the water is a way for them to come through. So it's not unusual for you to be in the shower, or for you to be in the tub, or you to be near the beach. There's water near you, and you get these like different thoughts that aren't really yours. So because of the water's a conduit. So so I do that too. But listen, the altar is really just a focal point. It's a place that you can go to honor, whatever you're honoring, whether it's a god or a goddess or an ancestor or whatever. So you having something very simple, it doesn't have to be full of all kinds of tools and everything that witches use, or that people use.
It's a reminder space. Yeah.
I love that reminder space. Yeah. So yeah, so don't worry about like making it super complex. You don't have to. I think it's more of how it relates to you and what you're trying to honor.
Yeah.
So my dad makes a coffee on on the altar for him, but his dad loved his beer. So I would get a beer, pop that open, on the altar too. So it's, they're different. I wouldn't give my dad a beer. That's just, he wasn't a big drinker.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. You can add those little personal things to the people you love, and they really love that.
Yeah.
They really,
my dad's
really
like, bring me beer. I think he was kind of like, I would like a beer, please.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, there would be times I would go to the liquor store to get different spirits for different spirits. And the guy would be like, are you having a party or something? I'm like, sort of.
Yes.
Kind of.
But just not like you think.
You think. Right. Right. I'd be like, could you just put these in a box, all the different liquor for everyone?
Still better than Michael Scott getting like, what was it, 17 bottles of vodka, and that's all he got. And the dude's all like, that'll do it.
That'll do it. That's true. Is this enough for the party? Yep. That'll do it.
That'll do it. Yeah. Anyways.
There's season 1. Love it. There's season 1. Throw it back. So the thing is, the reason why we're talking about it now, guys, is because we are near Halloween, also known as Samhain, which is our witch's new year, and when the veil is the thinnest. So that means we can connect with our ancestors easier than we can at other times during the year.
Yeah.
So that's really important. Like, so right now, if you wanted to set up something for your ancestors, this is a great time to do it.
Yeah, it'd be a nice time to do it.
Yeah. The other ways I've connected is we had an episode on dream time, guys, and how to work with dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's times that I'll say, Dad, I could really use, a message, or I can, can someone from the other side come and talk to me before I go to sleep? And at the very least, I may wake up feeling like, okay, I've got an answer, something I've dreamt about, something that that answers the question.
Yeah.
Or that gives me some hope, or whatever it is. So I do that in dreams too.
I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going back and setting the intention, guys, of what you want to happen during the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll just show up, which is cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
like when that happens.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I mean, also connecting with ancestors can be you visiting, if, a cemetery or a certain place that has some remnants of them.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
always go to the cemetery and clean off their gravestone
Yeah.
or like refresh some things that are there. Like if you want to give them some flowers or even leave like a little snacky there. I think
Mhm.
that could be something like you give to the spirit and the animals that are around.
Yeah.
You can do that. But I do that sometimes. And where my grandparents are buried, there's some gravestones of like kids, babies that passed. So
Yeah.
I always go by after I visit my grandparents. I go by and I just brush those off,
Yeah,
just in
that's
case.
nice.
Yeah, they have some meaning every time I walk by them. So
And
yeah,
that's nice that you live close to where they are. I'm very far from where all of my
yeah,
people are buried. They're in Pennsylvania. My dad's down in Alabama. So
yeah,
it's a little different. But I
yeah.
think that like too, I think we were joking about this before we talked about it. But like, I mean, my dad shows up as like turtles a lot.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and we kind of made the joke that like, a lot of older ladies you'll hear like, if they see a red cardinal, like grandma's here, and maybe not every cardinal's that person, but
Right.
it could be if that really does like match for you and your how you experience that person. And
Yeah,
yeah. And I think we even talked about last time I was in Alabama that my dad showed up kind of like an owl, like watching out. Mom said like he'd
yeah.
been around for a little while. So
Mhm. I thought that was so cool.
yeah.
My dad likes to show up on like when I'm driving because
Yeah.
I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. So I'll put on the radio or I'll put on even a podcast or a book. I do the
Yeah.
books on it's not books on tape anymore, the digital books, audiobooks. And I'll be driving down the highway and I'll either see like a truck that says like Jack on it or something that refers to
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
Or I'll see something. My dad was a carpet, a floor installer his whole career. That's what he did. So I'll see like, Jack's carpeting, or I'll see like,
Yeah.
like Cambridge carpeting, where my dad grew up in Cambridge. Like, so these like very specific signs that they're
Right.
him,
Right.
so I'm like, oh, all right, Dad, fine. That's a lot of times I might, not that he doesn't show up as a bird sometimes here too, but a lot of times he's shown me license plates and,
I think that's
things on
neat.
cars. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
can
pretty
do it
cool.
different ways. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
think for me too, because I know you said you connect that way. I was thinking about when do I feel like my dad shows up the most? And I think it's when I'm like working on stuff around the house because he used to do that a lot. And
Oh yeah.
I always like kind of feel like, okay, what would dad do? So like, and I remember one time he was here and like specifically in this house and pointed out like some stuff that I can do and not like this is messed up, but like here's where
Yeah.
your water thing is. Don't forget to turn it, this way when you're turning it off
Yeah.
in the winter. And so every winter I think of him down there and it's nice to
Oh
like remember that he was there. And so whenever I'm doing like little tasks like that, like,
yeah.
you know,
Oh, I love that. I
yeah.
love that. Yeah.
So
I think your ancestors always show you they're around. And even like I'm grateful when people tell me they don't have a lot of ancestors on the other side. I'm like, oh, that's great. But
yeah.
even if there's a certain spirit that you connect to, like, like a saint or a certain like, like
Yeah.
me and Archangel Mike, he's my boyfriend that I share
Your
with everyone.
boyfriend. Yeah.
My boyfriend, I mean, it's not necessarily ancestor, but it is something that you can focus on too if you want to bring them closer and create that relationship too. They're on the other
Yeah.
side, it's just a different
Yeah.
department.
Oh, I like that's just a different department.
Yeah, that's all. You just gotta go down the hall, see where the angels are. You know,
Yeah.
ancestors are over here, in that building. Angels are over
So,
there.
yep. I was gonna say, I
Gods and
think there's
goddesses.
I know we've talked a
Sorry.
lot about our dads. No, you're fine. I'm possibly ADDing out a little bit, but I didn't want to
Oh,
forget that, like, and this isn't a plug, like, seriously, there are other ways you can do it. Like, you can talk to a medium who can help you talk to your ancestors if you feel like you can't really connect with them or you have a hard time doing that, right? And does
true.
like
Mhm.
meditation or hypnotherapy, I don't know if hypnosis, I don't know. You know more about that than
Yeah.
I do.
Well, so hypnosis can kick you into the superconscious, which is
Mhm.
your connection to the spirit world.
Okay.
So there are specific types of hypnosis that you can look for the superconscious to connect with those spirits.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool.
See,
Yeah. So you have
you
some
know,
supports
you
if you
know,
feel like you can't quite do it yourself or you're having a hard
yeah,
time. There are
yeah,
resources, there are things you can do to tap in.
totally.
Yeah.
And as far as the ancestor altar, you can leave that up year round. You can keep that
Yeah.
stuff up year round for them. Light a candle, extra candle for them, or give them candy, or like we were talking about coffee or beer or whatever it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just showing that you love them and, you're still honoring their legacy. And even
Yeah.
if you've changed the legacy a bit, you had some stuff in your family, that's all right. It's still honoring the fact that they showed you that that's not the way you should be.
Yeah.
And so you can honor that too, if you so choose. It's not necessary, but it's just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's probably also good to like, I don't know. I was gonna
Oh,
start talking. I think it has to do with like reflecting on like family systems and how you want to be, like you said, like how do you want to be in the world and how do you want to be
yeah.
with other people? And even if you had a challenging relationship with them, I don't know, maybe you can work on a little bit of a better one depending on what that
Yeah.
relationship is and if you want to and
Yeah.
feel safe doing it.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Always if you want to, and if it feels safe, it's not going to harm you guys. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
100% with Jules.
Yeah.
So please know that. Yeah. It's only what's the best for you. But it also, if you're kind of wondering how to work with it, if there's something in you that's kind of like, I think I could work with this a little bit, then it's part of it could be, looking like you said, Julie, at what that family system was and what lessons you learned not to take forward with you, the things that you wanted to change.
And I would think that you could also like have a space, but it's not so wide open that any of them can show up. There are some specific people, that myself and I know other people would not want showing up for
Yeah.
reasons that we're not trying to learn lessons here. You don't need to be around me and my
Right. Nope.
family. That
Nope.
you can disinvite them if you,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't have to connect if you don't want to, guys. I'm saying this is like one of those situations where, I wish I knew them better, or I didn't really realize that about them until after they left the body. These are ways like you can still connect with them and work through it if
Yeah.
that's something that's, like you said, safe and healthy for you to do. But yeah, some people it's like take your
We're
leave and
good.
stay away. Yeah.
Right. Also, on a lighter note, though, are there times, I guess I'm wondering that, like, if you're talking to ancestors for someone that, like, maybe they're like, I don't know, she has purple hair. I don't know that I want to talk to a lady with
Oh,
tattoos.
yeah. Yeah. They have to like the medium.
Yeah.
They have to like the medium. So sometimes it's funny because I'll get people that'll say, my grandmother comes through all the time and she didn't come through with you. And I'm like, well, she might not have wanted to talk to me because of something with me.
Yeah.
Or someone will say someone came through that never comes through, but they would have liked your spirit or something. I'm like, that's why they came through me
Right.
this time. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to like and trust the medium, the spirit too. So
Yeah.
it's a whole energy
Yeah.
exchange. Yep.
I think that's so interesting. I know that, like, specifically mediumship is probably a completely different show. Maybe we've already done it once before. Who knows anymore?
All
But
right.
I think it's an interesting tool that I think can be useful when you're trying to like forge those relationships and figure out where to go.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I think if a sign shows up, I wouldn't question it. That's the big thing. That's the big piece of advice I give folks that are
Oh, yeah.
trying to connect more, because they'll show you a sign and it might be subtle because the spirit has to fine tune to you also, like what you notice, what you do. So, if you're not noticing some things or you're trying to explain them away, then they have to find another way to work with you. And it's, just it's because our human mind gets in there,
Yeah.
the mind gets in there and starts to block out some things. So just be careful of that. I would say, like, if you see a sign, trust that it's a sign, and they'll show it to you more and they'll communicate with you more. So
You don't know anybody about somebody who doesn't trust signs and texts you every
well,
few days about
I
that.
get it though. I get it.
Yeah.
I absolutely get it. No, I do. It's like, why would it be that easy? Sometimes like, why would it be that easy? I'm like, why wouldn't
Right.
it be? Just accept that it was easy, but
Right.
you're
Yeah.
always expecting to get hit over the head.
Yeah.
And that's not, it can be more subtle. Just things to learn, guys. We're always learning.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I looked to the side because I realized I had one of those things happen the other day, and I realized that I put the thing that I picked up into my pocket, and then I was like, oh shit, did I put it in the washing machine? But I haven't.
oh yay.
So we can
Okay.
edit that or not. We're all doing our best around here.
Great. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
fine.
Oh, we are human after all.
Professional humans.
Professional humans, yes.
Professional
That
humans.
that doesn't mean we're good at it, guys. It just means we're professional. We're trying to do better than the average human. I don't even know.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't
We're
even
just
know.
maybe
We're
our
just
dads will come and tell us.
right. Hey, speaking of telling us things, how can people get in touch with us, Jules?
Oh, hey, good call. They can email us at highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com. You guys can find us at our website at hypeclub.live. You can find Mary at marydalba.com and me at the
Sure.
forthcoming, maybe it'll be up by Thursday, julieatkinson.com, because guess who finally got it together?
Yes,
At
Julie.
least mostly. So you can do that. It's been a journey, friends. You've all been here.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming
Hey,
with me on this journey.
yes, it's been a good journey. There, look, hi, it's
Oh,
from.
yay. You can do
Oh,
that.
okay.
You can go to the events page on Mary's website and find out how to come see us at the Changing Times, Changing Worlds conference. That
Yes.
is coming up. Does it start on the 31st? It starts on November
No,
1st.
November 1st through the 3rd.
Yep. Up in
Yeah.
Connecticut. There's a virtual
Yeah.
track. We're teaching virtual classes and in-person classes.
We
So you
sure
can
are.
sign up for a, what are we calling it? It's like the astrology reading and witches brew that will give you a special thing that relates
Mhm.
to your chart and how the transits hit it for the month. So go there and check that out. Did I forget anything?
No, I think you did very well with that, Jules. Thank you.
I professional. We're doing our best, everybody.
Professionals. Yeah, everybody. Yes. So just remember, guys, we would love to hear from you. Please reach out to us. And until next time, remember that you are magic. Thanks, everyone. See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at High Priestess Hype Club, and subscribe to us on whatever platform you're currently listening to us on now, because we're back every Thursday to hype you up. Email us at highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com and tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.